What if we did a whole thing in my strong bad voice? Do you remember strong bad? Right? Hello, welcome to our family in Grambly. I am Carpenter and I'm representing them. Do you remember that guy? I think that would be cool. Of course, no one would understand what I'm saying. So if I was wrong, right? If I gave the wrong answer and someone's like, "That was the wrong answer," I'd be like, "I didn't understand. Now we're right, Dad." And so. Hi, I'm Father Joe Krupp, pastor at Holy Family in Grand Blanc, St. Mark and Goodrich, and I'm here to answer your last two questions. Which one should I go first, right or left?
Right.
Am I right? Right? Okay, bear left, right frog. That's a Muppets movie reference from like 30 years ago. Okay, when God creates someone, does he know if that person will end up in heaven or hell? How does he keep himself from knowing what they will do? If he knows that person will commit evil, like Hitler or Nick Saban, and end up in hell, is that really God being loving? Okay, this one's tough. I hope I can do this in a way that makes sense. Okay, so you and I are totally, radically, completely free. God is not a puppet master. But the way you and I perceive time and the way God lives time are two totally different things, and that's what makes the difference. So think of it this way. This is the example I tend to use. You and I experience time, like we call it linear. Stick with me. Hold on. Okay. Pretend I have a piece of paper in my hands and roll it all up, right, in a little thing, and then I unroll it like a scroll, okay? That's how you and I perceive time. Basically, for us, time is this constant movement forward. We don't know what's next. We don't have a good recollection of what's behind us, and we can't stop time at any point. So, like, even, I know it's stupid, but if you say what time is now, well, when is now? Was it when I said that? Was it right? So there really isn't, even for us, a perfect present. There's only forward motion. That's how we experience time. We're in what's called linear time. That's not how God experiences time. So I think it was Albert Einstein who pointed out that if we ever hit the speed of light, and my answer must be right because the sun is gazing down upon me. Oh, and then a cloud just went over it. Okay. Who said that as we approach the speed of light, if we ever hit the speed of light, all of time would be a moment for us. Namely, we would be nonlinear. So all of time we would see like the top of this desk. Okay, so when God looks at time, it's not that he sees each individual moment. He sees all moments and every possibility. And so this is how we're saved by something that happened 2,000 years ago in our time. This is how we can celebrate the Last Supper every time we pray Mass. We're not reenacting it. We're not remembering it. We're at the Last Supper every Mass. How? God's outside of time as we perceive it. I hope this is helping. So when we say, does God know what I'm going to do tomorrow? It's more that God's already in tomorrow where you did it. He's not controlling you and getting you there, but he's there already. And that's how we know. So does God know if I'm going to be in heaven or hell? Yes, he told me I'm going to heaven. No. The way God sees it, I've not been born yet, and I'm already done with my life. He can see it all right here, just like the top of his desk. So we are radically and totally free. God knowing what we are going to do isn't because he's controlling it. It's because the future and every possibility for the future, he sees all the time, just like you see the top of the desk. And you think, well, how is seeing the top of a desk a big deal? Well, ask an ant. And they couldn't understand it. An ant crossing from this point to that point, there's no before and after for us. It's the ant being there or the ant being there. I hope this makes sense. So think of it that way, and I hope it helps. And I really liked your Nick Saban dig. That really made me happy. So whoever wrote this, you're guaranteed heaven. And I say that to people, and there's not much they're going to be able to do. So it's like, well, what are you going to do if you guarantee someone heaven and they go to hell? I'll be like, no, what are they going to do? There's something deeply wrong with me. All right, so one more question. Oh my gosh, do we have time? Because I took forever on that one. Sorry. Okay. Dear Father, could you explain purgatory? Whew! I'm a returning Catholic, and I'm getting pretty hung up over purg. Is it punishment? Is it apart from Christ? Like, are we not in his presence? Is it a place of pain? Is it works-based? If yes, wasn't the whole indulgences stuff that the Reformation was started over? I'm so confused. Okay, I got you. Ow. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple images for purgatory to see if this helps you. The way I think of it, or the way I explain it, is a few different ways. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if you can tell, but every once in a while, it's winter in Michigan, so we get about an hour of sunlight a day if we're really good. And every once in a while, that sun will pop out, and then a cloud will go over it. When it pops out, for just a second, it messes up my vision. Right? When you and I die, and our souls, in a sense, open their eyes in heaven to God, we're going to see God's fire, right? God's all-consuming, pure, and perfect fire. And it's going to hurt our eyes a little bit, in a sense, until they adjust. And I think that's as good an image as anything for purgatory. The idea that it's a sort of adjustment to heaven. We're going in there scarred and having scarred. We're going in there with wounds that will be cauterized. Is Jesus apart from us there? No, he's right with us. That's what makes it heaven. That's what makes it purgatory. We're close to the fire now, closer than we've ever been. And we pray for people in purgatory because that's a great way to be bound to them, connected to them, and to pray for God to kind of move that process along. And again, we're trying to use human words, limited human words, for an unlimited, beautiful thing. So it's always the analogies are always gonna limp. But that's, I think, a good way to think of it. That in the same way, if your eyes were open and it was pitch black and then someone turned on a prison searchlight, it would blind you for a bit. But the light is obviously better than the darkness. And it's the same, I think, with the experience of purgatory. Interestingly enough, if you read the 95 Theses that Luther wrote, it's not so much an attack on the idea of indulgences and purgatory as it is an attack on how it was done. And that's a pretty big distinction. But that's a side note, I think, now that I think about it. So again, try to think of purgatory as our experience of adjusting to heaven, our wounds being healed, being cauterized. And is it painful? I guess kind of like a weight room pain. Because I'm in the weight room a lot. We've got one, and it's right over there. Right there, yeah. It's more of a weight room kind of pain. It's a good pain. It's a pain toward our growth. So let me make sure I got everything. Okay, so that's it, I think. And if that wasn't helpful, we're going to blame all the script writers. And I'm the only one. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you find this helpful. If you don't, what the heck are you watching this for? But like these, share these, and if you have any questions, you can submit them to the Church of the Holy Family Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook account. And again, thank you for your support. We love doing these, and we're glad you seem to enjoy watching them. Take care, and God bless you.